Okay then, okay. Good day. Welcome to the Africans in America podcast. With me is Weruche.
Hi, everyone.
Weruche, as African immigrants, how did you feel when recently President Trump announced that he was banning 12 countries from coming, people from 12 countries from being approved for visa to America? And
How did I
among,
feel?
yeah, among
hmm
those 12 countries, there were 7 African countries.
hmm
And
I mean, I didn't feel it.
additionally, he
hmm
also restricted some African countries also from being able to access America. So first there's a travel ban. I mean, there's a travel visa restriction, then a ban, sort of like.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
hmm How did I feel? I
Mm-hmm.
was indifferent, to be honest, because I've
Really?
seen it happen before. The first time it did exactly this, So I was quite indifferent because it's not, I mean, I've told you over and over what my expectations are about his government. First of all, he's very racist. The first time when he placed the travel ban, and it was like strictly, you have to remember that when he placed that travel ban, then he also had made other comments, and that was when he talked about, things like, oh, shithole countries and that type of thing. That why
Mm.
can't immigration be improved, to bring in more Norwegian and like European immigrants and not and less from shithole countries. So we've gone through that whole cycle with Donald Trump where he's done that. He stripped people of their human rights and dignity. And so when he did it again, I wasn't surprised. And now his first argument was because of national security. But then when you go and read up about these countries and his so-called national security threat from these countries, there was nothing. It was debunked as usual. No justification. He's now talking about being overstaying visas and coming up with anything. A racist president is what we have in office. And he is using whatever means and power he has to stifle the people he would rather not have come to this country. When he targeted Muslims, he was clearly targeting the black and brown people. So I wasn't surprised. So yeah. How did I feel? Indifferent, upset, but more, how do I say, more controlled, because getting upset doesn't make a difference. It's just, I just have to do what you have to do and get him out of office, impeach him, or we'll suck it up for the next 3.5 years. And that's where we are.
Anyway, maybe I should start with a proper introduction again. Welcome to our channel. For
Mhm.
those of you who may just be new to the channel, the Africans in America podcast channel, we talk about issues that affect African immigrants in the diaspora here, all across the world. And we also have a particular interest in issues that affect Africa, because what affects Africa ultimately affects us here, either in increasing
Indeed.
immigration to America or causing
Mhm.
us worry because our folks are still back home. So for you, if you're new to our program, our channel, subscribe, like, and share. Um, well, Richard, this time around, he had 7 African countries, and one of them is not even taking it lightly. Chad has said that they are banning Americans from visiting their country. But among these countries, there's one
Mhm.
particularly. Although I see it as Congo Brazzaville, but it's generally within the
Mhm.
Congo region there, and that's a very rich region. Congo
Mhm.
Brazzaville, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Libya,
Mhm.
Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. These are
Mhm.
countries that, to a large extent, the people in those countries are being impacted by conflict. Somalia still has conflict, Libya still has
Mhm.
conflict, Eritrea still, and America is supposed to be a country that where people who are in conflict come as refugees.
Refugees, yes.
They come for us to seek asylum. And you wonder why he continues to attack the most vulnerable of all this of Africans. Because particularly when you look at the large list here, you would think this is a very large list. This is a list that is very skewed towards against Africa.
Mhm. What was the question?
The question is, why is he always attacking Africa?
mean, like I said in my previous response, he's racist, extremely racist, and that's the one concentration. That's the one group that has a high concentration of black and brown people, and he's just targeting. He's just been targeting. I mean, he's really been opposed to refugee resettlement, quite frankly, immigration and all of that. He's not interested in any of that. We can't expect him to change. This is the same person that was voted in the first time and did the same thing, and we're repeating it. Why I get really upset with people who voted for him to begin with is we've seen this playbook before. It's irritating people like me because we have to have conversations that move us forward, not regress us. This is exactly what we dealt with before. I'm actually really bored with what he's doing or what's taking place with the conversations because we've seen this happen before. And why did we fall for the same trap? Again, the people that voted for him are most likely people who don't care about these regions. And so people who up till now support him, people who love what his administration are doing or his administration is doing, people who think that any single one of his policies makes sense, well, I blame them because any level of support you give a person like that, who clearly is taking food out of the mouth of babies, is taking medicine and care, is removing immigration. America was built on immigration. America is a country of immigrants. If there's one land in the world that is a country of immigrants, it's America. It was interesting to watch the German chancellor the other day on the news when he gave Trump a plaque or a framing of his grandfather's birth certificate as a way to prove to Trump, listen, you are a person of immigrants. Your grandfather was a chancellor. His name was, I'm sorry, your grandfather was an immigrant from Germany. His name was Friedrich. That is his name. Core German. And so the point I'm making is that's why I don't get involved in like I told you the other time, I don't want to trigger the political part of me, but I also don't want to trigger the human rights part of me because you want to be targeted and certain in your actions. I don't want to talk for the sake of talking. If my talk is not going to bring any change, then I'd rather sit on the sidelines and just observe because where we are, unfortunately, as the president, he has the right to do what he's doing. He can choose what he wants, even though we don't approve of it. And it's frustrating for people like me because what do we do to get him out of office? Because he's overstepping his boundaries. He's causing more pain and suffering to people. He's stripping America of the great reputation that America had when it comes particularly to immigration, being the land where people run to seek immigration. So quite frankly, why is he targeting Africa? That's just because he's racist. He's always been, never will change. That's it.
It's sad.
It's
And
frustrating.
to think the reason for which he came out and announced this was an action by an Egyptian immigrant, I think, who he claims that the man attacked some Jewish people who were campaigning for Jews in
Mm,
Boulder, Colorado, and the Egyptian, and yet we don't see Egypt on that list. We
yeah,
don't
exactly.
see
And
we
so he
don't
comes
see
up with as
Egypt.
many excuses as he wants. Donald Trump has a list of excuses. He has a list. He has again, I ask his supporters, you're one of them. Why would you people support a person like that who distorts the facts, but then has an agenda? So he distorts the facts and then targets certain people with his agenda. And the problem I have with this is the fact that he's done this before. So I think if this were his first time, it would be different because this would be all new to us. No, he has done this before. Why did you guys not anticipate that this is what will play out? They had a whole list. They had a whole project 2025 list that included all of this stuff. So are people like me surprised? No, we're not surprised. Actually, we expected it. And he has more where that came from.
Well,
Sadly,
in 2017, he did the same thing. In that list, then it included among
he
the
did.
countries that he restricted, included Nigeria. This time around, he hasn't included Nigeria because Nigeria may still come onto that list. But we as Nigerians, we consider Donald Trump our in-law now. He's married, is one of his daughters is married, Tiffany, is married to a Nigerian Lebanese guy called Michael Bulus. And Michael Bulus is very influential Nigerian family that produces, they manufacture a lot of automotive parts in Nigeria. And we are hoping that because
But
we have,
he's not Nigerian.
he's
He's not
Nigerian.
Nigerian. He's
Eh,
from a different tribe, but
no, he's not a
they
tribal person. He's a Lebanese Nigerian. He's Nigerian. He holds
that's
a
what I'm saying
Nigerian
now. He's
passport.
from
It's in
a
Nigeria he grew up. He doesn't live anywhere else.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying that his background is not necessarily Nigerian. He's also an immigrant to Nigeria.
Nigerian immigrant. He's an
Mm,
immigrant to Nigeria. So
yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't.
So he has his own perks, maybe from
The,
his country or whatever. He's not like
the place he
100%
lives,
Nigerian.
the place he calls home, the place where. Okay, let me give you a little brief
Mm,
history because maybe it might be necessary. There's a large Lebanese community that is in their
yeah.
third, fourth, fifth generations in West
Generation
Africa.
in Nigeria, yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
they are in
they're the
several
ones into the
generations in
hotel. They're
Africa.
the hoteliers. They're the hoteliers in Nigeria. They're the ones that
Yeah,
have those big chains of
yeah,
hotels and manage
The
them.
Chagoris and all of that. In
Yeah.
its own cases, they are manufacturers in Lagos. They
Mm,
do a lot of stuff in Lagos there, and I think they met him and Tiffany met in law school somewhere in
mm,
and we are hoping that they will show us favor and please
mm.
tell your father-in-law that I beg, please don't put Nigerians' name inside that list because there are still a lot
Mm.
of Nigerians who are in the process of either coming or there's a lot of movement between Nigeria. Everybody has, when you come to America, it seems like you just have to at certain times talk for yourself. The Donald Trump
Indeed,
presidency is just a little bit different. Very,
it
very
is.
different. It is now full of drama, fights,
It's
and
been, but
to think
it's not new. It's been the first term proved it. So everything that's playing, is happening now is the same thing that happened in the first term. It's frustrating for people like me. It's
I
frustrating.
if
That's why
one
we said I would have voted for a dog, right? Before I would have voted for Donald Trump.
anyway,
I would have
and
voted for a monkey or a
unfortunately, a
sheep.
dog will not be on the ballot.
Exactly. I would have voted for a monkey or a sheep before voting for Donald Trump. But the truth is that the person that was even his opponent, which is Kamala, has tons and tons of experience and knowledge and credibility way over this man. And they didn't vote her in because what, she's a black woman? I don't even want to have those conversations.
Anyway,
So I'm just watching quietly on
it's
by the
still a
sidelines.
continuum. It's still a continuum. Let's not forget that in his first term, um, the courts challenged most of his restrictions, and he lost.
Yeah,
He lost a lot in the courts. It's in America. It's not a place where you just make a pronouncement and you go unchallenged. There may
that's
be
true.
disruptions. There may be listen, but it is really sad that some of the most vulnerable countries there, especially Sudan, has been in conflict and war, and Chad has also been in conflict and war, and these are countries that genuinely deserve asylumees
Indeed.
in America. It's really sad when some countries are targeted. Look at now, there's Myanmar there. There's a brutal war going on in Myanmar now.
And Myanmar. Oh yeah, Myanmar.
There's
Yeah.
there's a
Mhm.
brutal war going on there now.
Yeah.
It's and you don't even know what the national security implications is talking about. Look at the Afghanistan and the role Afghanistan here now. We have a lot of people who, because of their relationship with the American government, there were some people who collaborated with the American government. Let's not forget that America stayed in Afghanistan for almost 20 years. Some people were their drivers, their chef, their
Yeah.
interpreters. They lived with them and all that. And now under the Taliban, they are hiding and running away for their dear life, left, right, and center. And these are people who had been promised by the previous regime that they would have access to America. Some are in limbo now. And it creates a lot of tension and a lot of worry. And look at it. If you ban people who hardly even come to America, these people hardly, it's only that they come to America in trickles. Every single person that is on this list comes to America in trickles. The southern border, the people who pass through the southern border in one day is more than all the people who come in from Congo, Brazzaville, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, and maybe Haiti agree because there's also massive conflict going on in Haiti, and a lot of them are here as refugees also because there's a nasty um, gang war going on in Haiti now. Destruction,
And
you can't
it's their
even.
constitutional right. It's also their right to
Yes,
be here as refugees.
you
They
know,
are allowed to seek persecution wheresoever their soul desires, wherever it is, they have the rights. And America has the ability to absorb them and to take them in and to listen to their petitions on a case by case basis. So
yeah.
anything that they're doing now, and it brings me back to, because when we started this channel in February, we talked about Donald Trump. We talked about him being I mean, he was in office at the time, he still is. And we've consistently addressed things that are not going right. And you have consistently been on the side of pretty much the Democrats
Can I,
because you do not
before you go further,
choose.
can I defend myself a little bit? Because this,
No, that's why I'm asking you the question,
the-
because then you defend yourself. Because you've consistently been on the side of, at least you've held a position that the Democrats most likely hold, right? Where you've criticized consistently the things he's doing that usually make the headlines and all that. My question to you is, why do you still support his administration if so far everything we have raised, because it's been drama
okay,
since this man took office,
should I
and we
make,
have criticized him, we've continued to criticize everything, and you've agreed that what he's doing is not good. So why do you still stand for him?
can I at
That's
this
it.
point say something?
Of
Donald Trump has
course.
lost the plot.
He
Sincerely,
never had the plot.
yes, yes. Even whatever it is, I always said that Donald Trump is not somebody who would have won an election, but the extreme decisions of the last government made him win. Let's not forget that while Donald Trump is struggling to send back 100,000, 15,000, 20,000 people, the last government chose to go to war and create a situation where America went through inflation beyond belief. And there was wage inflation. And because of wage inflation, it opened up the border to 12 million people. 12 million people pouring into a country. That's more than the population of Benin Republic, Togo, and half of Ghana. That's a lot of people.
We are
And this
focusing
is a country that
on
is
the
sensitive.
disruption.
Yes.
His approach to things has not bode well, it doesn't bode well with the average citizen. We're not trying to go nitpick other administrations and say they did this. There's no 100%. We're
Mm,
focused on this person that has
well,
continued to be disruptive. The question I asked you, you still have not responded. I
yeah.
said, you have consistently disagreed. You Let's even backtrack it. Before we started this podcast today, you said to me, "Why is your face like that?" I wasn't even aware that my face was the way it was. My face was all screwed up because of the topic. Unfortunately, I'm actually psychoanalyzing myself now that I was defensive because I just already knew what I was about to talk about, and it was already right. I didn't even know. You
Okay,
picked up on
okay.
it and you said,
Yeah,
"Why are you
okay.
not
If this
replying?"
will make your day, in all truth, I sincerely believe that on many issues, this included, on many issues, Donald Trump has lost the plot. I don't know
He never
about
had
you
plot
say he
though. I
didn't
said
have a
to you.
plot. He didn't have a plot,
Never
right?
did.
But
Never did.
as regards to issues like his defense of what's going on in Gaza, his attempt to start a war with Iran, his so-called trade war that has backfired on America so hard and bounced back on his face on so many issues he has done. And then look at even his relationship with Elon Musk. Indeed, the man has lost the plot. I sincerely believe at this point in time, he's juggling so many plates and all are just falling off his hand. He is
Elon
not
knows
doing.
more than enough going on behind the scenes. He does, and he couldn't take it. I bet you he would have left a long time ago, but it's just that he wanted to stay true to his maybe commitment, and then it just went off the rails, and he couldn't take it
We
anymore.
also have the issue of the big beautiful bill, which by serious allegations from Elon Musk he says that it's
We've
a
seen this playbook
Oka bill.
before. We have
Mm.
seen it before, and that is why we did not want him in office. I want you to acknowledge the fact that you made a mistake for being on that camp or with that camp. We're still saying the same thing, that due to his prior record, right? And then not only that, he became a multi
Billionaire.
felon,
No, no, that one has
a
all been cancelled.
multi-felon,
No, he
right?
has all 34, all 34 charges against him have been struck off. That one, it wasn't
But are you
reported, but
listening?
they have all been struck off.
That's fine, but he is a felon. And all the things that happened, all the things he said about people, all the things he did, and all the things he proposed to do, which he's executing on. The last time, your argument was he has his mandates that he has to fulfill, and this and that. That was your argument. Again, the question should really have been what is contained in his mandate? What are the things he committed to? How valid? Yes, it's one thing to say yes, he's going to do the work he has promised to do. The question really is, what is that work he said he's going to do? Disrupt the world, disrupt the innocent of the world, disrupt the vulnerable people in the world, and you're still supporting him? No, you can't
Anyway,
support Donald Trump.
I have been
And
critical
that's
of some
why
of his
when you said
actions
let's have this
recently.
conversation, I got defensive, but I knew it was a conversation to have because I have to chime in. I have to let my views be heard. But we've done this before. Haven't we done this before? Haven't we been here before?
Well, the
Hasn't
American
he
people, I
traumatized
didn't
black
vote.
and brown people
I
before?
didn't vote. The American people voted for him, and a large amount of them, to significant
Did you
amount.
not hear Elon? Elon says, if not for me, you will not have won that presidency. They
Hmm.
went above and beyond for him. And pretty much with the money that they had, the leverage they had, they were able to convince more people to vote for him. And now look, even those people that voted for him are sad. A lot of them are mad because they
Yeah.
signed up for nonsense. So
Well,
the
eh,
next time you say to me, let's have this conversation, and it has to do with Donald Trump, expect that I'm going to come with this position. My face, I don't usually sit in a position where I'm not happy and smiley. Well, I'm guarded and mad
today
because
your smile is
how
an
many
essential commodity.
times
We can't see it. You remember essential
how
commodity in
many
Nigeria?
times have we had to go through this? How many times has he stripped away refugee resettlement agencies of the funding that they need to help the most vulnerable? How long are we going to deal with this Donald Trump of a man and his disruptions? So that's why my face was screwed up, and it's still
Anyway,
screwed up because it's not fair. It's not fair.
it is an unfortunate thing for us in Africa as African immigrants. We know all the kinds of issues we face finding our way through America. And when you make us persona non grata by telling us that countries specific to our region are not wanted for whatever reason, it may almost reinforces the already existing issues. I don't want to use the word issues we already have. Yeah, and
You have to admit that you following his administration was a clear, like you were wrong. Anybody I love and respect that follows Donald Trump, I will question your judgment
yes.
instantly.
Can I please say something? I said, as a political analyst, Donald Trump will win the election. I did not say that he will be a good president, and it is very early in his government
Oh,
anyway
I know that we're past that.
to
You
judge
write,
how much of a president,
you
what kind of
projected
presidency
correctly
he
or
will
not
have.
project, you predicted correctly. That's fine. We're not dwelling on the fact
Yes,
that
but that was all I did. That
no,
was all
you
I
made a
predicted he
great
will win.
prediction and it happened. We're not dwelling on that. You repeatedly mentioned the fact that You support him, you support his policies. And then now, even when we brought it up, you're saying that, oh, he lost the plot,
Yeah.
which means, so I can't understand. I'm just saying so.
Okay, yeah, let me put some things that were going wrong because it is through those things that we had a situation where
Mhm,
there was almost censorship in America. It
mhm,
was if you say something against some issues, you were branded, you were labeled, and you
mhm,
were canceled. That was totally not in the spirit of America. But here's the thing: Donald
mhm.
Trump has come now and is also going through that same plot. If students in Columbia and Harvard come out and exercise their First Amendment rights, Donald Trump has come so heavily down on those students. But now, here's where the dilemma is. In Harvard and in Columbia, the issue is Gaza and how the Israelis are treating the people in Gaza. And if a foreign student, a Turkish
Mhm.
student, a Palestinian student, they revoke his visa. But now the demonstration is being done by Jewish students. Jewish students. So that ability to revoke their visas because they are Jewish Americans in New York, in the Northeast.
It's not the
Uh,
first time
yeah, so now what is he
they've
doing?
been.
Is now
It's not just
attacking the
Jewish.
institutions.
It's not just the Jewish students. All the Jewish sheikhs and all those clerics and Jewish. They've been arguing since in
Yeah.
favor of
So now
Gaza.
he wants to defund, he wants to destroy Colombia because he says that he has left the issue of and forgotten that these people have a right to First Amendment. That is the same right he himself fought so dearly for.
I can't
So
really analyze Donald Trump because I already have put him in a category. There's no analysis that's even going to be suitable because I have concluded a long time ago that he's not someone, first of all, that he's racist and that he's not someone that caters to the vulnerable or the ones that need support. So there's no real analysis that I can do successfully because I already have it in my head that this person, and it's so sad that I get proven right each and every time. I've already concluded that what we're going to get from this individual is not going to be anything that uplifts the vulnerable of society. It's not going to be anything that makes a real change, if not for his billionaire bodies. Like the only change you'll see is for his billionaire bodies. I'm not opposed to billionaires. I love the work. I love the fact that they were able to generate that much income. I want to be a billionaire and I will be a billionaire. How about that? Okay, let's go there. So I'm not attacking anybody that's rich. I'm simply saying that if you are in a world where you are supporting only the rich and abandoning the very vulnerable. That was nice that you didn't flinch when I said I would be a billionaire. You didn't flinch. You took it in good stride.
ah, if you become billionaire, I'm next to you now. Look at
You took it in good stride. I was like, okay,
ah,
I just made a
oh,
manifestation
you
and you
think you
didn't
can be
react.
billionaire
But
and I
let's
will
get
not be
back to
around you, billionaireing with you?
I mean, I had to crack a joke today, but on a very serious note, for him to only focus on what a particular the 1% are going to gain while ignoring the less privileged. I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's sad. There are
sorry. I
so
have
many, there
concluded
are
he's
so
not a
many
sensible
issues.
person.
There are so many issues at this point in time in his presidency that is veering off the path. It's sad that
I'm
he
not happy
he
with
he
him. I'm not
complained
happy
so
with it.
bitterly about his First Amendment rights being taken out of him, and now he's taking the
Mhm.
First Amendment rights of students who did all they could to end the Vietnam War, students who did so much to bring civil rights to America. Students
Are
who
you
are known to be the
surprised? But are
ones.
you surprised? Why are you surprised? This is the same playbook from the last time. It's the same thing. So,
Yeah, the last time he didn't attack,
okay.
institutions the way he's doing now. I mean, attack
No,
Harvard,
he's not going to
attack
attack them, but then they were the
Columbia,
most critical.
attack,
So he
and
has
then
zoned in on the most critical groups, and that's why he's coming back. The first time he
even
was
here.
accused of particularly the Muslims, and that's why his strategy now was to make it look like okay. it's not the Muslims, not only Muslim countries, but you could clearly see that the choices are again black and brown people. So he's a racist. He's just what he's doing in office is a waste of time. Look at what he's arguing with California. California funds America. The money California gets, right, is actually California pays more, about $80 billion more,
Mm.
right, in federal taxes than what California gets. And he's triggering our governor. He's trying to trigger him. He's always like bothering him. Oh, he's gonna
You're
cut this.
soon
He's
to be
gonna.
former governor. He's on his way out. He's looking for
It
the
doesn't matter.
presidency.
He's currently the governor. He's currently the governor. But what I'm trying to say is the attack against California is not funny. It's not funny. So he's a bully.
Yeah,
He's always been.
the adding to what you have said now, the one that really made me sad is when I read recently, just about 3 days ago, that in Texas now there's a law that is passing through, whether it has even passed through a bill that makes it illegal for anybody to hold demonstrations and talk about what's going on in other places. They label them terrorists. They label them all the talking points of Trump as
Stifling
regards
people
to.
of their First Amendment rights.
Yeah, that's you deprive people. So now it's very insidious. But you know, Americans they can disagree over so many things, but defending their First Amendment and right, and then their Second Amendment right, the right to hold bear arms, and all those ones are things they will always come out and fight for. I don't
But
think he
you
will
did
win
you
in this
not
one. He
see
will
all
lose.
these? Did you not see these things coming?
Well,
Look, you see,
I didn't see him going to go and start banning students, Jewish
I hope you
students
know he
and
has
Jewish
more.
institutions.
I hope you know he has more up
Well,
his sleeves. He
it's
has something
sad.
he has to,
It really
and
is
this is what
sad.
you people all approved of.
I didn't
We're
vote for
telling
him.
you
Oh.
people.
I didn't vote. I didn't vote for him. Please, I just said that he will
I'm
win,
just
and he
saying, the
won.
people who supported Donald Trump, I really wish that we could zone in on all of them and let all the burdens
And
that
fuck them.
the innocent people, no, let the burdens that the innocent people are currently going through, let it be heaped on them and let them be the ones to carry it. Let them carry
Anyway,
the burden because it's unfair.
anyway,
But
we
that's where we are. This is Donald Trump's presidency. That's why people like us will never, never in our lives have ever voted for a person like that. Never. He will never get my approval in my lifetime.
anyway.
Never. And anyone who supports him, I'm beginning to zone in on them and I'm beginning to even see how they process. I don't have
I
respect
can
for
assure
them.
you that his
I
support
really
base
don't.
is dwindling. He still has a large support base, but
I mean, he
it
has a
is
lot, but it's
dwindling.
the opportunists that support him.
Mm.
Only opportunists support him because they hope he's going to help them. It's only opportunists. It's only opportunists that want him in office, really. People that want to sell their souls for money. It's only those kinds of people that want him. And the racists. Let's call a spade a spade. It is what it is. That's why when I had my face screwed up prior to us starting this thing, this is what I knew I was going to say. And I didn't want to say it, but I'm saying it. It's only
Well,
racists and opportunists
well,
that support him.
you have your First Amendment right to say what you have,
Of
how you
course,
feel,
it's
and
my
what
right.
you yeah. And
Of
besides,
course.
you're a media personality,
Exactly. I'm a media person.
and
I
the
can say
media has a
anything I
right
want.
to their opinion. You
Of
so
course. I
you.
never voted for that man. I have always written articles that oppose him. So I don't have fear, you know?
I
I
can
don't
assure
have
you
fear.
this, right? There's nothing you say on the Africans in America podcast that has not been said by on CNB, on
I
MNNSBC,
don't even
on
care. I don't have that
CNN,
fear.
and any of those places.
I do
Yeah,
not have the fear because I have my constitutional right to speak as I want. Could there be repercussions? Absolutely, but they will implode for that.
the maybe
They won't even come close.
maybe we will soon hear that they are not banning Nigeria, but they are stopping people coming from Ogidi in in
I
Southeast
know, but the
Nigeria.
truth is that he's left. So, like for instance, he didn't touch Traore's country, Burkina Faso.
Burkina
He was
Faso
careful, but he
is
went to
still is
Chad. Mm.
that
He
one is
went to Chad. He went to all these other. So he's strategic because he doesn't want it to be that, oh, the current argument about Burkina Faso is why he has targeted.
yeah.
You understand?
Before
The
we even round
country.
up, so there's news, right? Let's go into Burkina Faso. You remember our program on Burkina Faso, right?
We have 2 minutes.
It
Yeah.
turns out you remember I told you that Michael Langley is going to lose his job. He should be worried about his job. So Michael Langley is very well on his way to losing his job because
Really?
yes, because Donald Trump is even closing down the Africa command of Africom. He's closing it down and collapsing it into the European command. So Michael Langley, who is the head of the Africa command, may now not have a role. He may go
Oh
into this,
no.
and he will. So he
Was
has
that
been
his
going around
intention
trying to
though?
meet African defense ministers to weigh in on Trump so that Trump can leave the Africa command. But nobody is missing him, and nobody is going to miss the Africa command.
Wow, but he allowed himself be a stew, like a puppet, a pawn in their little playbook. He
I
allowed
think it was
himself
his.
be
I think it
used.
was his personal ego. He just looked at himself as a
Yes, it was his
general, and he
personal
saw
ego.
Captain. Look, Captain Amadu, Captain Ibrahim Traore could have just increased. Said, "I am no more a captain. I'm a general." But he liked the fact that his hero was Thomas
I
Sankara
think he
was a
was hoping
captain.
to get brownie points for doing this. I think so. He would probably already knew they were going to close down the defense or whatever,
Mm,
the African defense. And maybe these were part of his own strategies to hold on to his job. So he wanted to sound relevant. And so he chimed in prior to because there's gossip that will go around. Prior to us even hearing what the intentions are, there's probably been months
Well, man, the
of
backlash on
gossip.
the internet against America was just too much. America didn't need that
Yes,
one.
and so when he came at them, he was trying to look like he was busy doing something, zoned in on the wrongest candidate because that guy has the support of the entire world. And so that I think that was all it so it backfired
Back
because it
backfired.
totally backfired. He was hoping to, be relevant, more relevant, and then now he has shot himself in the foot. It's sad. I feel bad because I don't want to see a black man lose his job. You know what I mean? Like how
Oh,
many of them
it will
hold
be
those
in NATO
positions?
headquarters in Germany, or it will be in Belgium.
I don't want to see a
Eh,
black man lose his job. That's just the truth of the matter. However, I mean,
it's
it's
no
what
more
it is.
welcome in Africa, that I can assure you.
Whoa.
Anyway, today we come to the end of our exciting
It
program.
was a
Thank you,
difficult topic.
Weruche. Maybe next time we'll find a topic that will put a cheer in your face.